In today's video, we're going to talk all about the emotional scale and how it might be unintentionally causing you to sabotage exactly what you're trying to manifest. The emotional scale is something that was given to Esther and Jerry Hicks. It made it into their book, Ask and It Is Given, if you're new to the emotional scale. And so we want to give props where props are due. I believe that Esther channeled it. If you don't already know, Esther channels a group consciousness from the other side that she named Abraham, or she calls Abraham. And they gave her this emotional scale so that she could help the masses, which includes Lisa and I, and now you guys, to understand that wherever you are on this scale, whatever it is that you're feeling, are just different shades or versions of either being plugged into unconditional universal love or being disconnected from it.
Right. If you were to go on to Google or Pinterest and search emotional scale, you might even see some scales that have the different megahertz of energy associated with each. On the right triangle that goes like this toward the bottom, those are going to be much kind of slower and denser energies. You even see that the shade of the triangle is going to pull you down, right? So it's kind of lower and denser energies. Where over on the left, as you get up higher and we expand, this is a core concept we use in our expansion coaching. As you're expanding, those vibrations get faster and lighter and higher and move faster. And so you're getting into more of an expansive, creative kind of energy where solutions and opportunities just appear in abundance out of the blue that you can't maybe see when you're over on the right side of on the right triangle.
Yeah. So what Lisa's saying is you manifest really fast.
Yeah.
So who doesn't want to spend more time, at these top, emotions, love, peace, joy, appreciation, freedom. Everyone wants more of that in their life, and that's okay to want. And also, as you spend more time there, appreciating and enjoying what you have, then more of all that your heart's been calling you toward is able to flow in. So our goal today is to help you guys identify where are you either right now. So take a moment and maybe even take a screenshot with your phone. Where are you right now? And another way to think of this is, where do you spend the most time? So let's say right now you're in enthusiasm because you just found the sister coaches and you're excited. But let's say that you spend the most time, like me, in overwhelm. Knowing that awareness of where your set point is, where Joe Dispenza calls it your emotional addiction is very, very powerful, because then you can start to make change toward a higher vibration.
Right. So if you recognize, oh, here I am in overwhelm again, which Jamie will say that to me often. She'll say, yep, I'm in overwhelm. So she won't say I'm overwhelmed, but I'm in a state of overwhelm, which simply means I need to shift gears. I'm unplugged. I'm not connected to source energy. I just need a minute to kind of plug in and recharge. And as you do that, it's not like she has to go and take care of everything that's overwhelming her, but she just raises her energy consciousness higher and higher and higher until the overwhelm sort of disappears, because two things can't be in the same place at the same time. So you can't be feeling enthusiasm and overwhelm at exactly the same time. So as you reach for a higher emotion and you expand your energy upward and outward, that overwhelm just kind of melts away.
Yeah. So when using this for self-coaching, you really are going to have to climb these emotions one at a time. You might be able to skip one, which you're not going to be able to go. So for my addiction being overwhelmed, I'm not going to go from overwhelmed to happiness like this, because my ego, the subconscious part of my brain that is always running from a saber-toothed tiger, but the saber-toothed tiger is now the yellow sticky note. That portion of my brain is going to say, we can't be happy with all this to do. So you're going to have to climb little by little when self-coaching. The expansion coaching method that we've created actually helps a client move through all of these very quickly, because we get them to neutral, if you'll see on the bottom of the left triangle, by helping a client through a private coaching scenario get to neutral. That's that place where there's now space for a new smorgasbord of emotions, and you get to choose any emotion that you want.
Because I would say in this modern age, in this information age and social media age where people are on their phones, more people spend more time, especially during the pandemic too, and after the pandemic, people spend more time on that right triangle than they do on the left. So we use this as a core concept in our coaching just to help people feel and experience and remember what's possible for them. If you spend so much time in anger and resentment and jealousy, and you forget what passion and enthusiasm feels like, you forget what it feels like to follow your own bliss and your own passions, having a coach can be helpful to get up into those higher level emotions and remember them in your body. We all know how to reach all of these emotions. It's not as if some people are joyful and other people are not. We all have the capacity for joy. It's just that we haven't been practicing it or rehearsing it because we've been rerunning over and over again the same emotions, day after day after day after day after day. And then we get stuck there and think that we are angry people or we are overwhelmed people.
And that's a great point too, Lisa, is that none of us get stuck here forever. And so whatever you're feeling will be temporary. And then B, in order to change, you can't think about it. You actually have to feel emotions. Emotions are meant to be felt, not thought about. So it can feel like if someone says, well, just be happy, you know that doesn't work. But if you can take a look at this scale and by yourself work to remember a time you felt nothing, remember a time you felt content or even bored, anything that's right around neutral, if you can shoot for that, and you might have to climb through anger and resentment and disappointment, depending on how low you are. But if you could just shoot for that for a small moment and feel it in your body, then you can start to feel hopefulness in your body, optimism in your body, belief in your body. And the more you practice this somatic approach, the better you get at remembering it and raising that set point over time.
And that's what we start to talk about, the law of resonance over the law of attraction. So versus trying to attract things to us in order to make us feel better, we're saying if you feel better and raise your vibration and your emotional set point up, then things will come to you naturally. And what happens actually is as people get to the top of that left triangle, they really don't want things anymore. The things kind of just, they're cool and you can enjoy them. They don't feel so, there's not such a longing, or you're not feeling quite so compelled to chase after the career or the car or the house or the relationship or the whatever it is.
You have everything you've ever wanted.
What happens when you start living up there is you start just wanting to help other people live up there too.
So if this sounds like something that you're excited to try out, tell us below. Where do you spend the most time? What's your emotional set point? Or at least where were you when this video started? And what were you able to get to by the time that you learned and you gained that awareness? And if you're interested in becoming part of our community, we train expansion coaches in the method that we've created. It's a multidimensional modality that helps change at all levels, all at once. It's kind of like magic. We can't wait to give you more of these wonderful little tips and tools that have really helped us in our personal lives and in our professional coaching lives.